So that boy Pooh Shiesty went on Instagram and he said the only rapper that might got more Badazz than him is Lil Boosie.
What if one Instagram caption was enough to flip the entire narrative overnight? Just days after returning home and reigniting the streets with new music, Pooh Shiesty had fans focused on momentum, growth, and a possible second run at the top. But then, one bold statement hit social media. A caption that seemed simple at first until people started reading between the lines. Did he really just suggest there's only one artist with more records than him? And name drop Boosie Badazz in the process? Was it competitive rap talk, strategic promotion, or a calculated move to spark the exact reaction we're watching unfold right now? Because within hours, blogs were reposting it, fans were debating it, and timelines were on fire. Some saw confidence, others saw controversy. And in today's industry, one sentence can carry more weight than an entire interview. So the real question is, are we witnessing harmless hip-hop bravado or the beginning of something bigger? This situation between the narrator and Pooh Shiesty started gaining attention after the rapper's recent return home. Since Pooh Shiesty came back, fans have been eagerly waiting to see what he will release next. His latest drop, FDO, created major buzz across the streets and online. People were talking non-stop about it. Over the past month, social media has been filled with conversations and unverified rumors surrounding him, though nothing official has been confirmed. Recently, a video surfaced showing him with a brand new grill, and it instantly grabbed people's attention. Some didn't believe the story circulating online, and even the narrator had made a video addressing those doubts. But the real highlight came yesterday, when Pooh Shiesty made a new post on social media, looking confident and shining bright. In that post, he made a bold statement saying there might be one artist with more records than him, referring to Lil Boosie. The caption quickly became the center of discussion, with fans debating what he truly meant. Whether it was playful competition or just another social media moment, it definitely had everyone talking. At first, he admitted he doesn't always read captions closely when an artist posts something that seems casual or promotional. If it's a new track or a short clip, he usually focuses on the music itself. If he likes the song, he supports it. Simple as that. He's been open about being a fan of Pooh Shiesty's music and was glad to see him looking healthy and confident in recent posts. But as the day went on, more people began highlighting the actual caption that came with the post. That's when things shifted. The wording included a bold comparison about having more records than Lil Boosie, and it immediately sparked reactions online. Once major blogs started reposting it, the message reached millions of viewers in no time. From there, speculation took off. Observers suggested that Lil Boosie may have seen a statement and paused to think about what was being implied. Was it friendly competition? Was it a subtle challenge? At that point, it had clearly turned into a trending topic across social media, with fans debating every angle. The reaction online was immediate. Some people questioned what he meant, with a few even saying, "What is he talking about?" Others made it clear they didn't want to be pulled into any kind of controversial comparison. From their point of view, they preferred not to be mentioned in that type of discussion at all. Observers suggested that if it was meant as humor or light trolling, it still carried weight because of how public the platform was. Lil Boosie had recently received a relatively light federal sentence, according to reports. Prosecutors had reportedly been seeking prison time, but the outcome allowed him to serve probation along with other conditions instead. Because of that recent situation, some felt the timing of the caption added extra tension to the conversation. Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty had just returned home, making the statement even more noticeable. Commentators debated whether the caption was playful, strategic promotion, or simply a spontaneous thought posted online. Some analysts argued that artists from challenging backgrounds often feel pressure to prove themselves publicly, even when they don't need to. Supporters emphasized that respect doesn't always require bold declarations. Sometimes silence speaks louder than captions. The commentator made it clear that many supporters already believe in the artist and don't feel the need for dramatic statements to prove anything. He emphasized that, to his knowledge, and based on public records, there are no confirmed claims that Pooh Shiesty has taken anyone's life. He also clarified that while the rapper previously faced a legal case that resulted in time served, there have been no verified reports of him being responsible for anyone's death. From his perspective, making bold captions about serious topics can create unnecessary confusion, especially when there is no factual basis behind them. He suggested that even if the post was meant as humor or exaggeration, it might not be the best move given the circumstances. Public figures, especially those who have dealt with federal legal matters, often remain under close scrutiny long after their cases are resolved. He concluded that energy matters. In his view, it's wiser for someone in Pooh Shiesty's position to focus on growth, music, and positive momentum rather than statements that could be misinterpreted. With so many eyes watching, every post can carry more weight than intended. The commentator stressed that certain topics simply don't need to be spoken into existence, especially when they can be misunderstood. He also pointed out that the situation escalated when another rapper appeared to join the conversation online, suggesting he should be included in the same comparison. According to observers, that response seemed more like trolling than anything serious. Still, the public back and forth raised eyebrows. He questioned why artists would casually name-drop one another in ways that could be interpreted as referencing serious matters. In his view, making bold claims about having more records than someone else might be intended as wordplay, but it can easily spiral into unnecessary drama. With 2026 just getting started, he felt the tone of the conversation was already intense for only a few months into the year. He also reflected on Pooh Shiesty's lyrical ability, noting that even during his time away, listeners paid attention to his metaphors, punchlines, layered wordplay, and creative delivery on projects like Federal Contraband and FDO. From that standpoint, the talent speaks for itself. The commentator suggested that the focus could remain on the artistry rather than statements that invite controversy. The commentator shared that, in his opinion, Pooh Shiesty has grown significantly as an artist. After watching recent interviews, including conversations with XXL Magazine and with Wallow and Gilly, he felt the rapper appeared focused and motivated. From his perspective, Pooh Shiesty seems determined to elevate his career and reach the next level. He described the trajectory as upward, suggesting that the foundation has already been laid for bigger success ahead. He also expressed the belief that the artist has addressed his past legal matters and is now moving forward. When various rumors began circulating online, the commentator stated clearly that he did not believe many of them. In his view, speculation often spreads quickly without verified facts. He maintained confidence that Pooh Shiesty would remain on track professionally. Based on the snippets that have been previewed, he predicted strong back-to-back releases. He noted that fan support appears solid, with listeners responding positively to the new material. From what he observed, both supporters and casual listeners seem ready for what's next, and momentum appears to be building steadily. The commentator described this moment as what could be Pooh Shiesty's second major run in the industry. In his view, the timing seemed perfect for a strong comeback, with momentum building and supporters ready. However, when the recent caption referencing Lil Boosie surfaced, it shifted the focus back to controversy rather than music. Observers noted that the comparison reignited conversations that some felt were unnecessary. He suggested that there is no need for reminders about past situations, especially when those matters have already been addressed through the legal system. According to public records, the case has concluded and there is no requirement for further proof of anything. The commentator argued that questioning whether someone will stand on their name often comes from critics looking for reactions rather than growth. In his opinion, artists should not feel pressured to prove themselves to individuals who constantly demand more. He emphasized that those voices are often the loudest but not the most supportive. Instead of responding to every challenge or online comment, he suggested focusing on career progress and personal development. From his perspective, success speaks louder than controversy, and attention should remain on the music rather than on proving a point. The commentator explained that the same critics who push artists to prove how real they are will often be the first to label them negatively if they respond too strongly. In his view, it's a cycle he has watched for years. Some in the industry even refer to it as the rap trap, a phrase he credited to Yoko Sako. The idea highlights the pressure placed on artists who come from difficult environments. According to his perspective, when a rapper builds a brand around authenticity and personal background, audiences sometimes expect that image to be maintained at all times. The more authentic the story sounds, the more marketable it can become. That image can help drive sales, streams, and attention. However, he suggested that maintaining that perception can also create constant pressure. He noted that once an artist is labeled as coming from the streets, people may expect them to stand on that in every public setting. That can mean heightened scrutiny at concerts, appearances, and online interactions. In his view, this expectation can be unrealistic and exhausting. Rather than being boxed into one image, he implied that artists should have space to grow, evolve, and move strategically without feeling forced to perform a persona at all times. The commentator described how high-energy concerts, especially those tied to street-themed music, can sometimes come with added tension. He suggested that in certain environments, there may always be someone in the crowd looking to challenge an artist or test their image. At the same time, public figures often face scrutiny from authorities and industry executives alike. According to his perspective, record labels may invest heavily in promoting a certain persona because it sells, reinforcing the image that audiences expect to see. He referred to this dynamic as the rap trap. In his explanation, the same supporters who claim loyalty and purchase tickets can sometimes show up with intentions that go beyond simply enjoying the music. He argued that this reflects the complicated climate artists navigate today. When performers share personal stories and real-life experiences in their lyrics, those words can attract wide attention. He pointed out that in recent years, several high-profile artists have ended up dealing with serious legal proceedings. While each situation is unique and based on individual circumstances, he suggested that the overlap between public storytelling and real-world consequences has become more noticeable. From his perspective, it's a reminder that fame, authenticity, and accountability often intersect in ways that can shape an artist's career path in powerful ways. The commentator reflected on how audiences now witness legal situations unfold in real time. Courtroom appearances, attorney statements, and official proceedings are often reported quickly, sometimes even live-streamed, allowing the public to follow developments as they happen. He suggested that this level of access reveals a side of the industry that fans did not always see so directly in the past. At the same time, he emphasized that the very talent that brings artists fame, their skill, charisma, creativity, and presence, is what draws supporters in. Fans celebrate that talent and genuinely want to see artists succeed. He described himself as a longtime supporter of rap music and the culture surrounding it, explaining that he has listened to it his entire life. From his point of view, seeing artists thrive, succeed, and build wealth through their craft is inspiring. Rather than focusing on controversy, he expressed a desire to see continued growth and achievement. He wants to see artists headline major stages, receive recognition for their artistry, and build lasting legacies. In his opinion, that success story is far more motivating than any legal headline, and it represents the best outcome for both the artist and the culture overall. The commentator shared that he ultimately wants to see all rappers succeed and become financially secure. In his view, there is enough space in the industry for multiple artists to reach multi-millionaire status through their talent and dedication. However, he also pointed out how public perception and long-standing stereotypes can sometimes create narratives that don't reflect verified facts. He made it clear that there are no confirmed reports or legal findings stating that Pooh, Shiesty, or Boosie have taken anyone's life. He emphasized that it would be irresponsible to present speculation as truth. For him, the issue wasn't about accusations. It was about how certain captions and comparisons can spark confusion or unnecessary assumptions online. What stood out to him was that the post was still live the following morning, which suggested it was intentional rather than accidental. He described the caption as unusual and attention-grabbing, noting that it quickly became a topic of discussion across platforms. At the same time, he wondered privately how Boosie might interpret the statement. If any response were to come, he indicated he would simply observe and report on it rather than jump to conclusions. The commentator closed with a broader message about accountability and personal growth. He noted that correctional systems continue to operate at full capacity, and he encouraged individuals not to make impulsive decisions that can negatively affect their future. In his view, everyone makes mistakes at different points in life, and each person's path looks different. What matters most is learning, growing, and moving forward in a positive direction. He emphasized that success does not require proven toughness or responding to pressure in destructive ways. According to his perspective, real strength comes from staying focused on long-term goals and protecting one's freedom. He also highlighted the importance of family support, suggesting that having loved ones who care can be a powerful reminder to choose wisely. Rather than feeling pressured to meet outside expectations, he encouraged artists and individuals alike to prioritize growth, stability, and opportunity. In his opinion, building a future filled with progress and purpose is far more valuable than reacting to temporary challenges or outside noise. As the conversation kept spreading online, more media outlets and fan pages began covering the situation. Reaction videos popped up, social media threads grew longer, and debate panels started weighing in on what the caption could have meant. Some creators framed it as competitive rap talk, pointing out that bold statements have always been part of hip-hop culture. Others argued that in today's climate, every word carries more weight because of how quickly clips circulate across platforms. Several commenters on forums suggested that the statement may have been strategic, a way to generate engagement ahead of upcoming releases. In the streaming era, even a short caption can spark thousands of reposts, pushing an artist back into trending discussions. From a marketing perspective, controversy often drives curiosity, and curiosity drives clicks. At the same time, Longtime fans emphasize that lyrical competition has historically included exaggerated claims meant to showcase confidence rather than literal meaning. They noted that hip-hop has always rewarded bravado and bold comparisons. Whether intentional promotion or casual wordplay, the moment highlighted how one post can dominate the news cycle within hours. Industry analysts also pointed out how artists today operate under a microscope. Unlike previous eras, social media removes the barrier between performer and audience. A single caption can reach millions instantly, and interpretations can vary widely. Some viewers saw the post as harmless hype, while others felt it reopened sensitive conversations that didn't need revisiting. Clips from past interviews resurfaced as fans revisited statements about growth, maturity, and future goals. Supporters argued that the overall trajectory still appears focused on music and career expansion. They referenced recent interviews where confidence and ambition were emphasized, framing the current debate as a distraction rather than a defining moment. Meanwhile, streaming numbers reportedly remained steady, suggesting that public curiosity did not negatively impact listener interest. In fact, some observers believe the heightened attention may have introduced the music to new audiences. In the modern entertainment landscape, visibility often translates into opportunity, regardless of how the spotlight first turns on. As days passed, attention gradually shifted back toward upcoming projects and potential collaborations. Conversations evolved from the caption itself to speculation about future releases, tour appearances, and industry partnerships. Many fans expressed hope that the focus would remain on artistry rather than online back-and-forth exchanges. Comment sections reflected a mix of opinions. Some encouraged healthy competition, viewing it as a catalyst for better music. Others called for restraint, suggesting that long-term success depends on consistency and discipline. Across platforms, one theme remained clear. Audiences are deeply invested in both the music and the narrative surrounding it. Ultimately, the episode served as another reminder of how quickly narratives can form in the digital age. Public figures navigate an environment where every post can spark headlines, debates, and reaction content within minutes. Whether calculated or spontaneous, moments like these show how closely culture, commentary, and career momentum are now connected. As the discussion kept rolling, some cultural commentators zoomed out and looked at the bigger picture. They explained that moments like this aren't just about one caption. They reflect how hip-hop thrives on competition and conversation. For decades, artists have used bold lines to spark debate, sharpen their image, and remind listeners that confidence is part of the craft. In that sense, some observers felt this was simply tradition playing out in a modern, hyper-connected era. However, others pointed out that today's digital environment amplifies everything. A single phrase can be screenshot, reposted, dissected, and debated across multiple platforms within minutes. What may have once stayed inside a song lyric now lives on timelines, headlines, and algorithm-driven feeds. That shift changes the stakes. Supporters continued emphasizing that artistry should remain the priority. They argued that competitive energy can inspire stronger music, as long as it doesn't spiral into distractions. In their view, the real win is channeling attention into creative output, rather than letting commentary control the narrative. Meanwhile, fan communities began breaking the situation down frame by frame. Some analyzed the wording of the caption, suggesting it might have been layered wordplay rather than a direct comparison. Others speculated it was simply a flex, a common hip-hop expression of confidence meant to spark engagement. Clips from older tracks resurfaced, with listeners drawing parallels to past lines that use similar competitive language. Dedicated fans argued that bold statements have always been part of rap's DNA. From battle rap roots to mainstream chart toppers, the culture often rewards artists who project certainty and dominance in their craft. At the same time, more cautious voices urged perspective. They noted that public figures operate in an era where interpretation spreads faster than clarification. Even if something is meant metaphorically, it can be received literally by some audiences. That tension between intent and interpretation continues to shape how artists communicate today. Industry insiders also weighed in on how moments like this can influence momentum. Public attention, whether sparked by music or social media, often translates into streaming spikes and increased visibility. In a competitive market, staying in conversation can be just as valuable as dropping a new single. Still, several analysts highlighted the importance of balance. Sustained success, they argue, usually comes from consistent releases, strategic moves, and controlled messaging. Quick bursts of attention may trend for a few days, but long-term positioning depends on discipline and focus. As the timeline moved forward, it became clear that the narrative was shifting back toward anticipation for new material. Fans continue watching closely, ready to interpret the next post, lyric, or interview. In today's landscape, every move connects to a larger story, and audiences are paying attention in real time. As everything settles, the real question becomes this: was that caption just competitive energy, or was it a calculated move to spark attention at the perfect time? In today's music industry, timing is everything. One post can reignite buzz, shift headlines, and put an artist right back at the center of conversation. Some fans see strategy, others see spontaneity. Either way, it worked. People are talking. What makes this moment interesting is how fast narratives form. Within hours, supporters, critics, bloggers, and reaction channels all had their own takes. That shows just how powerful influence and visibility are in this era. But at the end of the day, music is what truly defines longevity. The statements trend for a moment. The records last much longer. Now it's your turn. Do you think this was a harmless rap competition? Or do you think artists should move more carefully with their captions in 2026? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you rock with real breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay locked in for the next update.